Things I've done because of sensory issues. Make sure you stick around till the end because the last one is the most drastic. Left jobs because of the smell, whether it be usually food or someone's perfume. Only stayed at the beach until it's time to reapply sun lotion because the thought of trying to reapply sun lotion with sand stuck to you is horrible. Wash my hands so much to the point where I've dried them out because I can't stand the feeling of anything on my hands. But then don't want to apply hand cream because I don't like the feel of it. So I have to wear cotton gloves at night when I need to wear hand cream, so I can't feel the hand cream. Sat through a film at the cinema with my fingers in my ears because it was too loud. Sitting with T-Rex hands after eating something greasy until I get the chance to wash my hands because it just feels so uncomfortable. I can't touch anything. Feeling overwhelmed about my family being loud, but then going in the kitchen and singing really loud myself. Cutting labels out of all of my clothes. Feeling angry and irritated because of coloured or flashing lights. Avoiding going in someone's car because they've got an air freshener in it and it will make me feel sick and give me a headache. Rush through duty free at the airport because of the smell of perfume and aftershave. Feeling itchy when my naturally curly hair is curly or wavy. Holding my nose walking past the butcher's because it smells like death. Can't sit down and relax at night until I've brushed my teeth. Okay, this last one is a little bit gory, so if you're squeamish, don't watch this. So if you're squeamish, you might not want to listen. When I was pregnant with my oldest daughter, so this was around 20 years ago, I had really bad morning sickness, and it wasn't early in the pregnancy, it was kind of like I was already showing, and it wasn't just morning sickness, it was all day sickness. And one of the only things that stopped me feeling sick was apples. They kind of temporarily stopped me feeling sick while I was eating them and after. One day I was going to work and I was panicking, thinking I'm going to feel sick in work all day, so I put a few apples in my bag just in case. I cannot eat apple skin because it gets stuck in my teeth. It feels horrible and uncomfortable, so that is quite a big sensory issue of mine. I was taking these apples in my bag and I thought, I'm going to need to peel them. I also do not like peelers, like vegetable peelers or fruit peelers. There's something that makes me feel really uncomfortable. So I found like a small kitchen knife. It was like a fruit knife, so with a really short blade. I was looking for a tub to put it in, couldn't find a tub. So I wrapped it in kitchen roll, like to pad it out, and then I put it in my bag. So it was just for me to peel my apples and work. My intention was to go into the canteen at lunchtime, eat what I needed to eat apples and things like that. But I realised I had a few errands to run. So instead I drove to the local shopping centre. I did what I needed to do and I went back to the car park and got in the car and I swung my bag into the car. As I was driving, I felt this warm feeling on my leg and I looked down and I noticed there was blood all over my jeans. And I instantly panicked, obviously, because I was pregnant. But then I looked and it was by my knee and I thought, that's really weird, what's going on? I drove back to work, to the car park. I was only a few minutes away. And I couldn't understand what had happened. But then as I stopped the car and there was a rip in my jeans and I just couldn't think of what had happened. Then I saw there was a rip in my bag. I realised that as I'd got into the car, my bag had swung into my leg. I didn't feel any pain or anything, but the knife had stabbed me through the bag into my leg. So I got out the car, went into work, and there were security guards at the front of our building. I said, I need some first aid, and they looked at my leg and they were like, oh, come and sit down. And obviously I was pregnant, and it was obvious I was pregnant. And I sat down in the security office thing and they were like, right, we need to have a look at your leg. But because my jeans were a bit tighter, I couldn't roll my leg up on my jeans, so I had to pull my jeans down. Luckily, I had a long t-shirt on. It was like a maternity t-shirt. And I felt so embarrassed because my legs were really hairy. I had I actually had a waxing appointment booked for a few days late. I was like, I've got hairy legs because I'm meant to be having a waxing appointment soon. They were like, it doesn't matter, let's just have a look at this injury. And basically they cleaned it with like an alcohol wipe, which stung so much. I had a big chunk of skin hanging off, and they were like, how have you done this? So I said, oh, you know, I had a knife in my bag to peel my apples and it swung into my leg. And they were like, you can't bring a knife into work. And I was like, oh, I'm really, really sorry. And I could tell how serious they were. And I ended up getting upset. I was like, I'm so sorry. And I explained that, you know, I'm obviously I'm pregnant. I'm just trying to not feel sick. And I brought it to peel the apples. And I showed them the apples in my bag. And I think they said, listen, we're going to have to take the knife because you can't have it in work. And I was like, that's fine. And I was like, they were like, please don't ever bring a knife into work again. I was like, I won't. And yeah, I'm going to say pregnancy hormones. Like, I felt so sick that my intention was, of course, just to peel the apples. Yeah, so he felt sorry for me as an emotional pregnant woman who just felt really sick, and I was really upset at this point. And he got the first aider. They cleaned my leg again because it just kept on bleeding, and that stung so much. But seeing that chunk of skin hanging off felt so uncomfortable, and it made me feel dizzy. So I ended up feeling faint. I had to have something to eat and a drink. And then when the bleeding had slowed down a bit and I was feeling okay, I drove myself to minor injuries and had to get butterfly stitches. But that was my lesson. Never take a knife to work to peel apples, or don't take a knife anywhere. And yeah, that was because of the sensory issue of apple skin getting stuck in my teeth. I want to know, what has happened to you because of a sensory issue, or what is something that you've done to avoid having a sensory issue? Put it in the comments. If you found value in this video, please like and subscribe and check out my other videos. Bye.